Hello, Warrior Goddess. Thank you for joining me today. Salutations to you, your divine feminine, your feminine beauty, your inner knowing. We are going to talk about divine feminine power versus the ego, and knowing when you're activating ego and how to step back into your divine power, your feminine power. That feminine, once again, is the inner knowing, the intuition. It is connected to universal source. It is also called the true self, the inner source. And the divine feminine channel taps into that inner source, right? That is the beauty of the feminine, because she is the receptor of that source. She is open to that source. It is the incoming energy. It is the incoming channel of divine source. Whereas the masculine is the outward channel of divine source. He takes the inner knowing from the divine feminine and draws it out. He acts on it, he expresses it. And this is part of the warrior goddess as well. She has both. But right now, we're going to speak about the difference between ego and true power, feminine power. Because it is very, very easy to go to the mind to strategize, to go to the mind to solve problems, to make decisions. The mind is a tool. It is not the authority. It is not the all-knowing. Where is the mind getting the information from? The mind is getting the information from you. All the programs, all the files in your brain, in your head, whatever you want to call that, in your mind, in your subconscious that was planted there. That's what the mind has access to for information. And the mind might read something. It might go to the internet and say, this is what I need to do. Often I'll have women, they'll say, well, which supplement should I take? Because I want to balance my hormones. And there's a lot of different herbs for women to balance hormones. So how do you know which one is right for you? And yes, read it, your intelligence, read it, but then what? Maybe you've got it down to 2 or 3. Of course, you can always consult the holistic health practitioner to help you, but just say, we're using this as an example. You've got it down to 3. Now what? Now what do you do? So you must go inside and say, which one of these is right for me? For me right now in my process where I am. Because maybe you're 50 years old, you're not 20 or 30, or maybe you're 20 or 30 and you're not 50 or 60. So, what you need energetically and physically for the body and emotionally for your body and your well-being is different at different cycles. So this is all very confusing. How do you know which is right for you? This is only one example of making decision. So we must go inside, to the inside, the inner knowing, what feels right. Does this resonate with me? But first, you have to go to that place inside. Where is the place? Where's the anchor? How do you access the inner source, the inner knowing? Where is it? Where is your place? How do you know? So you relax your body, you do some breathing, and you anchor in. You could either anchor into the navel center, where all 72,000 nerve pathways intersect and feed the body system and the emotional system. Or you can anchor in at your heart, the soul, wherever that place is for you. That's where you go. to feel and make that decision. And maybe you go there, you meditate there, you take time there, and then you wait to make that decision. So every decision does not need to be made in a second. It can take time. Yeah? Maybe you need 12 hours, 24 hours to process that. But that way you'll know that you must go within to know what is right for you. Now that's about supplements. Well, how do you know about relationship, a decision of work, the work and employment? Maybe you're changing a job. Maybe you're making a decision for your son or your daughter. Maybe you're trying to decide what to do with your dog. Some type of behavioral problem that you might be having. You call it a problem, an imbalance, but you need to make a decision. What do I do? There's a lot out there. How do you make that decision? You know your dog. You know your child. A good doctor, a good pediatrician will always ask the mother and go on the mother's intuition before making a final decision of what to do with that child. And I'm so grateful for those pediatricians that I dealt with my own children, because they were so wonderful in trusting me, because the mother always knows. The mother always knows. What is that? Oh, the feminine always knows. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. So tune into her. When you see yourself grabbing the mind, the intellect, when you see yourself grabbing, or the ego grabs you, pull yourself back in. Take time, take a breath. Go back in, anchor in, find your place. Feel, receive. Give yourself a little time, then make your decision. This is a profound exercise and practice in discriminating between your ego and your true feminine power. Thank you for joining me today, Warrior Goddess. Namaste.